Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars, and let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today. 24 hours ago, we started talking about a potential reversal coming for Bitcoin, and so far we have actually seen a bit of bullish momentum. Now, while this could signal a possible bullish week coming for Bitcoin, I do also want to point out the possible warning signals that you need to look out for over the next 24 hours or so. As always, in this video, I will talk about nothing more than the objective technical analysis. So nothing I say in this video is my personal opinion. Now let's dive into this technical analysis. So we're going to start with the market structure as always. Notice how right here we were making lower lows and lower highs. So this was technically just a downtrend, but recently we actually got this higher low coming in. And like I said yesterday as well, all we need from this point onward is to actually start breaking above 115.5k for us to be open to being much more bullish on this 1 day time frame. Of course, on the lower time frames, things were already looking more bullish because we were simply holding this ascending trend line, for example. Same thing on like this 12-hour time frame. Here we were actually already making higher highs and higher lows. So nothing has really changed here. This is still looking bullish overall. And notice how right here, for example, on this 4-hour time frame as well, even while we are currently making higher highs in the Bitcoin price, we are also making higher highs in the RSI momentum indicator as of the time of recording, and therefore there is no bearish divergence here or something whatsoever. Now, a lack of a bearish signal is also a bullish signal in and of itself, as far as I'm concerned. Something that is absolutely critical to keep an eye on is where this candle is actually going to close. In the case that we close below it, though, it doesn't mean that we need to get some kind of massive crash to the downside. However, that would be something that would immediately pique my interest and would point me towards the lower time frames to see what is actually going on here, and if we are starting to break down from perhaps some kind of ascending trend line like this. So long as we are holding above simple ascending trend lines like this, guys, nothing much is really going on and Bitcoin is simply trending to the upside. But like I said, closing below that 115.5k level and us breaking a critical ascending trend line like this would lead me to believe that we are likely going to grab some liquidity to the downside, so retracing some of this move. Now, moving on to the support and resistance levels for Bitcoin. Right now, we are breaking through this previous area of resistance, sitting from 110 all the way up to 112,000, and immediately shot up to this next area of resistance, sitting from 115 all the way up to 117k. Something that I quickly wanted to point out as well, and I forgot to do this in yesterday's video, but I will talk about it in this video regardless. Even while we were in this short-term uptrend here, we were just seeing extreme bearish momentum. Like, we were already deep into some kind of bear market here. And usually with these sentiment extremes, guys, you tend to see some kind of reversal, even if it is just a short-term move. And notice how quickly that sentiment flips as well. Like, immediately everyone is bullish again and saying that we are going to make new all-time highs for Bitcoin. So very interesting to see how that works. And just always note those sentiment extremes when you see them. For the Bitcoin ETF flow tables, I have no new data today, so we are just going to skip that. And moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map then. First of all, on this 3-day time frame, we did just take out a bunch of liquidity here, as high as about 115.5k in the Bitcoin price. However, right now we do have a bunch of liquidity to the downside here, sitting at around 112.5k and even as low as 111.2k. Zooming out a little bit to this 2-week time frame, notice right here, it's probably hard to see for you guys, but again, 115.5k has already been taken out. Most of the liquidity to the upside is sitting at 116.3, so there is still some liquidity left, but we did already manage to take out a massive amount of liquidity here at about 114.8k. Right now, since we are simply in a strong uptrend and not breaking any ascending trend lines yet, it would make more sense to simply continue to look for liquidity to the upside being grabbed until those warning signals start flashing. Once again, breaking of ascending trend lines, perhaps even bearish divergences starting to show up in combination with those breaking of trend lines and horizontal levels of support on the lower time frames. Those are the type of signals to look for more liquidity to the downside being grabbed. As you can see, for example, right here on this 48-hour time frame, 112.5, 111.4, and even 110K. As a quick summary, running through all of these time frames, the one-day time frame is potentially about to confirm a break of this downtrend, so then we can technically start to be more bullish on Bitcoin once again. On the 12-hour time frame, we have actually broken the downtrend now and are starting to move towards the upside. Overall, we are simply holding some ascending trend lines here, so this is simply looking bullish. Same thing for this 4-hour time frame, simply holding an ascending trend line here, and therefore we are potentially about to be bullish on all of the time frames, but it will take a little bit more time before the higher time frames are actually starting to flip bullish as well. So be warned if you start to see breakdowns on the lower time frames. Either way, this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.